retarded, gay. Since I first entered kindergarten in 1986, I've heard these words used repeatedly to destroy people, to alienate groups in society in harmful and almost irreparable ways. I want to talk today about the responsibility of public media to use words carefully. I want to talk about the impacts of using words both on the speaker and on the recipient of those words. I want to talk about the impact of language on society and how groups are viewed in society. So first let's talk about the responsibility of public media. Let's just say hypothetically that someone enjoys a particular stand-up comedian, and this stand-up comedian uses certain language in his act that is offensive. So someone goes to the show, records the stand-up comedian, and puts it on YouTube. Suddenly, children around the world have access to this comedian using language that is offensive, that is cruel. And they think that, hey, that's funny, I'm going to use that. And so then they start using language, and it continues. And it encourages other people, unknowingly, to use language that is really potentially harmful. Okay? So there's a definite responsibility of media to use these things carefully. Even if it's just an act like this, not meaning for it to be put on YouTube, you know it's going to be. Okay? Next, let's talk about the impact. It changes people who use the words, and it changes the people who are called the words. If someone uses the words, I see it impacting them in two ways. Maybe they become elitist, thinking, oh, I'm better than them because I learned differently, or I'm better than them because I'm not part of that group, or I'm not like that, and so therefore they would feel themselves better than others. Or more likely, they would use words like this, language like this, to degrade someone so that they feel better about themselves. It would hide their own insecurities. But that's bad because it would just further isolate their insecurities from reality. And they would just bury feelings down that need to be dealt with, weaknesses that need to be dealt with. Okay? And then let's talk about the recipient. If someone is called these words, obviously that could have an impact on how they view themselves, and they would feel worse about themselves. Let's talk about society and how society is impacted by these words. When someone uses the R word, for instance, not only are you saying something about an individual, but you're saying something about a group of people. You're saying that this group of people is not as good as others. Same thing with calling someone gay. All that you're doing there is putting someone down by making them believe that this group of society is bad or inferior. I think that that's one of the worst things about the way we use language, is how you could insult a huge section of society just by how you use language. And so there's a real danger there. So in all, I just want you to see the responsibility that people have with the way they use language, the impact that language has on individuals, and the impact that it has on society. I hope we can be careful with the words we choose, we can be caring and responsible, and by so doing we can improve society. Thank you.